we could be able to sell them on a bigger ticket of coaching and stuff. But to go get somebody who don't know anything about entrepreneurship, don't have $10 in their pocket, and have them sign up and get approved.
What's up, future wealth builders? I'm your host, JT. This is the Income Autopilot Podcast. I know we haven't done an episode for the podcast for quite a while, but I definitely got a special guest here. Many of you all know him, but for the benefit of anybody that does not know him, he's Mr. Mike Sneed of Appliance Boot Camp and Old Fashioned Ice Cream, and we're actually at his ice cream parlor today. And what I want to talk about with Mike is just the whole state of affairs as it pertains to internet training, online gurus, whatever you guys want to call it, or whatever you know it as. So, quick background about me. I jumped on the internet talking about business in 2017. I became an entrepreneur in 2014. What I was doing in those 3 years before I got on the internet was actually trying to figure out business, and my first business was an independent courier service. That's just driving around a cargo van, delivering pharmaceuticals and mail to hospitals. And I got on the internet because I got tired of all my buddies asking me, man, what you doing in that kidnapping van? How many kids in the bag? How you making money doing that? And I said, you know what? I quickly realized I was making more money than them. At the time, they were like sheriff deputies and personal trainers and a sergeant in the military as I got out. But when we talked about how much money we made, I was like, man, I'm blowing y'all out of the water and y'all clowning me just because, you know, I didn't have a sexy business at the time, right? When I first got on the internet, though, the only two people, and this is kind of like just telling you how the state of affairs was back in 2017, 2018, Mr. Jay Morrison was somebody that was super consistent. He was talking about real estate. If you don't know who that was or don't know who that is, and Dr. Boyce Watkins was another gentleman that was super consistent talking about financial literacy. There might have been other people that were on the come up, but the big names that looked like us was those two people. And I started in 2017. I think my second year on YouTube, Mike started being featured on the channel, so that had to be around 2018.
Yeah.
Mike, when you first started coming on YouTube, if you wanted to know something, who was the names of the people that you could go watch on YouTube, if you remember any of them?
Nobody. When I first started coming on YouTube, I don't know anybody I could go look at, catch any information. I actually found you on YouTube because I was in an investment group and we were thinking about buying some tractor trailers. And you was doing a lot of stuff with independent carrier. So I started looking at that. I said, maybe we could do this independent carrier thing. And I think maybe at that time it was you, was it Hood, who done the tractor trailer thing.
Oh yeah, Hood Estates.
Hood Estates, yeah, Hood Estates. And I kind of caught Erica Williams at the same time. Now I was trying to figure out, we were trying to think if we were going to do that with the tractor trailers. That's how I met you. But it was nobody that I knew about that was trying to teach anything entrepreneurial on the actual YouTube.
I think Hood Estates was big back then too. So I'm not saying nobody existed, but as far as 100,000 subs or bigger, like it was like I knew of Dr. Boyce Watkins and Jay Morrison just because I was one of those people that was like, man, cargo vans is cool, but I don't necessarily want to drive cargo vans my whole life. Fast forward to today, like, man, it's a laundry list of people that are on the internet between YouTube, Instagram, and just all social media. Now it seems like everybody makes 6 figures or more. Everybody teach business. Now, how you feel about the current state of affairs now that there's so many people teaching business?
If they were teaching business, I wouldn't mind, but they're not teaching business. I think what happened early on, the entrepreneurs, prior to YouTube, if you wanted to know about business, you had to go to Barnes and Noble, or you had to find a mentor. So a lot of us read all the books. We read Think and Grow Rich. We read A Millionaire Next Door. We read Richest Man in Babylon. We read all these books, and so we knew all the catchphrases and stuff. And so we had business mentors, so we knew that. The people who come to YouTube ain't read the books. And a lot of people just regurgitating what came out the books. But the people who never read them, they're looking at these guys as being gurus and stuff. And I'm looking behind the scenes. A lot of them never ran a business, a profitable business. Their business actually have became telling you about how to run a business.
Okay, I'm gonna take the other side, Mike.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So there is a whole lane of entrepreneurs that are in. That's called a coaching business. So you don't recognize, do you respect coaching businesses as real businesses? Like, I'm in the business of teaching you how to have a successful business.
Yes, I believe coaching business and mentorship is real. If you coaching and mentoring in the field of expertise that you have. I know each business is so different and has so many different nuances. It's almost impossible for you to come to me with a business I know nothing of. I don't know anything about transportation and tractor trailer business. So I'm not able to coach you in that business. I know the basic principles of all businesses is pretty much the same, but in order for me to coach you into your tractor trailer business, I'll have to actually go study it and try to run it and become profitable at it. I'm not able to coach you in that. I can coach you really easy in appliance repair, and I'm being able to coach you now in ice cream. But just to say, whoever you are, come here, I'm going to be a coach to you. And some of the people they coaching don't even have a business. They trying to figure out what they're going to run, and they calling themselves coaching them. So I think that you can be a coach, but you have to be coaching in a field that you actually have expertise in.
All right. What about just, going with the other side? You guys put questions down in the comment section below, because I think this is a conversation that is oftentimes avoided on social media. So we just gonna bring it to the table. Is, well, somebody can say, well, I'll be a sales coach. So I'm not teaching you specifically appliance repair or appliance repair. I'm gonna just teach you the fundamentals of sales, or I'll just teach you social media. So I'll just teach you YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, how you grow an audience, make money off of that. So now I don't need to know your specific business. All I'm teaching you is sales and social media.
Okay, yeah. Now, if I have a business, if I got a product or a service that I need to sell, and I don't know anything about sales funnels and nothing like that, if you're going to teach me how to increase my sales of a current product or service that I have, yeah, that's something that does work. But going back again, most of these cats don't have anything to sell. They don't have a product or a service, and they're getting taught sales. And the thing with the social media, same thing. If your job in social media is to get me to pay you to teach me social media, to me it becomes almost like prosperity preaching. Everybody's preaching, and it's kind of like when Booker T. Washington, people first learned how to read, and Booker T. Washington said as soon as somebody learned, the first book most people learn how to read was Bible. And as soon as they read the Bible, 2 weeks later, I've been called to preach, and they want to go start preaching. And I think that's the same thing happening with social media. Social media right now, this is where first people are getting introduced to entrepreneurship and seeing people actually making some money. That they say, everybody say, I got to be a social media influencer. I got to start doing something on social media. There's money to be made in social media, but I think it's a little too reckless with it. With the social media, and I think it's a house of cards that's getting ready to come tumbling down.
Why do you feel that?
Why I feel that? Because everybody is selling nothing to people, and there's no conscience about it. I was listening to a show the other day, and this rapper just got sentenced to jail for credit card scamming. They stole credit cards and took flights and all this stuff. So one of his partners from back home called into the YouTube channel, and the partner didn't see nothing was wrong with it. Hey man, you have to think where we from. It's okay to scam. They just got caught. But everybody's scamming. So it has became the culture now that nobody cares that, no, if I'm scamming and you got not scammed and I took over and got over on you, it don't matter. It's just part of life. Just let it go. And that's the way we have came to it, where now it's not about me really trying to help you, but if I can get over on you and whatnot and lead you astray, it don't matter as long as I take some money from you. And people respect it. They don't. There's no disrespect in the community now about scamming somebody.
Alright. There's a fly flying
I
around.
know,
So if
I
you guys
know,
see me
yeah.
looking around, I ain't want you to think I'm on nothing. I ain't on nothing. I might try to kill this fly during this episode. When you were first getting into entrepreneurship, how much did it cost if you wanted to learn a skill or a trade or a business back when you first wanted to get into entrepreneurship in appliance repair?
Back then, it didn't cost anything. I actually got paid to do it because you've done an internship. You went and actually work with somebody, and they actually showed you the actual trade and showed you the industry. So you actually went to work with somebody. But now with the technology we have, everything is on YouTube. So now you don't necessarily have to go work with anybody. You can turn on your YouTube channel and actually get trained that way.
How do you feel about the pricing today? So like compare back then, you could come work for John Doe's Appliance Repair and learn the appliance repair business and then go start your own. Now John Doe Appliance Repair might say, well, give me $250,000. I'm gonna teach you how to make $1 million a year in appliance repair.
I don't have no problem with that. If they're teaching them a true skill or true business that's going to generate money. I don't have no problem with them doing that. Because like I say, there are plenty of places you can go buy a franchise. To buy a franchise, they're going to hit you in the head, $100,000 or more to teach you that franchise business.
Yeah.
But at that same token, you're actually getting something, a tangible product or service that you can actually go out and make you money. Right now, people are not giving them an actual skill set or anything. They're just saying, hey, in order for you to talk to me on the phone or be in my presence, you're going to pay me this amount of money. And they're not giving them a way to be able to go back and repay that debt. They have all these people just financing it. It's almost as bad. Be honest, the coaching stuff now with the financing is almost as bad as when I used to sell used appliances. And we had these people like rent to own and all that. They'll come finance a regular washing machine that I could go to Lowe's and buy for $400. The rent to own people will say, hey, I'll sell that washing machine for $2,000 to that guy, and they'll finance it and pay $20 a week. And you can put any price you want to on it, and they'll finance it. As long as you get the payment to $20 or $15 a week, they didn't care. And so that's where the coaching and the YouTube channels and the courses have gone to, where now these people are saying, okay, milk these people who's really truly looking for a way to earn money and to have a better lifestyle. Now they're saying, okay, we're going to take advantage of their ignorance and we're going to let you finance $100,000 to be into my mentorship program. Don't teach you nothing. You don't have no property. You don't have no skill set. You don't have anything you can take to the marketplace to actually sell. The only thing you can sell is the fact that I'm going to teach you how to go to the next person and sign them up on $100,000 loan for you to teach them the same thing about coaching and life skills that they don't have no money to pay. So pretty soon we'll get to the point everybody's going to be stuck on these coaching loans just like everybody's stuck on these student loans and can't pay them back.
What I would say is different from the student loans. I have been the person that for many years on social media, whatever I learned to do, I'm going to teach it for free. So transitioning from the independent courier service, I was selling stuff online. You remember back in the day, I would come up here and they had, I got to go to the post office. I sold all these things. I got to go drop them off and ship them out. Had my own website where I was like selling my own shirts for a while. And then what I realized is like, and you tell me if you disagree, that man, when you give people stuff for free, oftentimes they don't value it. So I was making a full-time income off of being an independent courier, taught that for free. Off of reselling stuff online on eBay and Mercari, taught that stuff for free. Like, and I have some testimonials, well, I got a good bit of testimonials, but I have way more people take action when they had to tie some money to it. And what the consensus is in the industry is, if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. And the more you pay, the more you pay attention. So they're saying that when I charge you $100,000, it's to help you, not me. Because because now not only are you gonna pay attention, you gonna pay a whole lot of attention. You're gonna take a whole lot of action because you're gonna want to make not just your 100,000 back. You might want to make 200, 300, 400,000.
I think that comes back to us as being new into this game. We're really coming down the road of franchising, and we don't really know this about franchising because we're pretty new with teaching our skill set and our business skills to people. But if I wanted to say, for instance, if I wanted to go buy a Dunkin' Donuts, they're gonna have a process to weed me out if I'm not a good candidate to buy a Dunkin' Donut before I get going. So a lot of times they're gonna say, in order for you to buy a Dunkin' Donuts, you gotta fill out this application. We need to see your credit. We need to see what's your net worth, and it's gonna cost you $5,000 to look behind the paywall to see exactly what we're doing. So a lot of times that pushes off the person who's not ready to actually take that deal. Make sure that we get the right client and customer in. But with us, we're actually going to people who are desperately and broke, that's looking to get going. And unfortunately, we're going to have those people who's not going to pay attention, who look and think they're going to buy a lottery ticket. But at the same token, we're getting some good people in there who's taking advantage of it at the price point we have to offer. Now, once we get going and we have more people in our community who can afford these things, like we started off with the appliance boot camp. Appliance boot camp, people could barely afford to pay the $500 when we first started. Now, several years later, where we have people who have started their appliance repair business, they're making money. Now they have disposable income. They're coming back and they're going out buying property and putting ice cream parlors and stuff in. Now they're able to pay the $15,000, $20,000 to get an ice cream parlor up and going. Those are the people that we're actually building, and then later on we could be able to sell them on a bigger ticket of coaching and stuff. But to go get somebody who don't know anything about entrepreneurship, don't have $10 in their pocket, and have them sign up and get approved to get this crazy loan for $100,000, thinking that I'm going to be able to tell them something to make them $100,000 is crazy. It's not going to happen. I don't think so.
Oh, that's where me and Mike disagree. Like, I think, well, and of course it's just based off my experience. Like, man, helping so many people for free, it's like the real road to success is going to be difficult. So you might look at Mike Sneed now and say, oh man, he got his own custom truck. He got not one but two commercial buildings, at least that I know of. He got at least two commercial buildings. He got residential real estate. Well, you got the third one that you're building out now.
Yeah, I'm building one up.
Right. So you might look at Mike Sneed in the seat that he sits in now and say, oh man, that guy got it easy. Cause you said, what's the price, if you don't mind sharing,
of what?
That you paid for both these buildings combined?
I paid $30,000.
Yeah. So somebody watching might say, man, you get two commercial buildings for $30,000. That's $15K a piece. What they worth right now, as is, if you sold them.
This one's like $260.
Yeah. So you might be watching it and saying, well, where I am, I don't have that opportunity. So he got lucky, and that's not the case at all. Like, what I want you all to understand is that your road to entrepreneurship is going to have difficulties. Now, your difficulty may be you can't find commercial buildings for $15,000 a piece. That doesn't mean that Mike didn't have difficulties getting from not having these buildings to the condition that they're in today. And there's no telling how much he had to went through, whether it's time, money, effort, dealing with the city or whatever, till he got to this level. And I do feel like if you give it to him for free, and this is what I've learned about content creation and social media, is that if you give a detailed video and show them everything, social media don't like that. So it actually hurts you to not put it behind the paywall. And I know some people may disagree with it, but you have to understand that social media wants people to stay on social media. So let's say I could teach you, or Mike could teach you anything about making money doing something specific, and that one video might be a 3-hour long live stream. Well, okay, you came, what's the chances of you watching the whole 3 hours in one sitting? Slim to none. Is, you know, not even that it's a bad video, that's just average people retention. It's not 3 hours per viewer. So they're gonna watch a portion of it, then jump off. Well, depending on what percentage of the video that they watch, YouTube might say that's a bad video. They could have stayed and watched 30 minutes of a 3 hour long video. That's excellent, but because 2.5 hours went unwatched, YouTube is gonna say this must not be a great video, because when we look at the retention percentage, they're only watching this small percentage of this video. So now it's getting less recommendations. So not as many people are seeing you in their search results or seeing you organically. So now you getting punished for creating that long 3 hour long live stream or 3 hour long training and putting it out there for free. So it's not helping the people. You guys are never going to see it unless you go out and seek it out and go down the weeds and then eventually come across it. But let's say I did that video today and it's 2 years from now before you actually are interested in doing this business or that business. I'm so far down in the algorithm, unless you like are spending hours and hours just trying to find me, it don't matter that that video is free on the internet, you're not gonna find it. Like, but if you would have took that same subject matter and made an 8-minute long video and it was entertaining and it made people laugh and it was exciting and then it ended with a cliffhanger and you had all of these elements that make a great video in that video, well, the algorithm is gonna say, well, they watched 70, 80 or higher percent of this video. This must be a great video. Let's show this video to more people and let's show similar videos to other people that are like these people as well. That's just, you know, a little nerd education behind the algorithm 101. So the creator is punished and the viewer is punished because you're never going to get to see it. So I want you all to understand that you, and when it comes to business, are going to have a rough road. That's one. And two, my opinion on paying the money is, for one, that's the fastest way to get the information. And do you agree or disagree that the more money they pay, the more serious they're going to take that endeavor?
Some people, it depends. If they paying with their money, but the same thing, if they're signing and they getting financed on it, they don't look at that as their money. Just like a student loan, people don't look at, when they go sign student loans and stuff, they don't really look at that as their money. They're thinking, oh, I'm gonna get all this money when I graduate from college, and I have all this excess money to pay it back. Same thing.
What about a mortgage and a car loan? Because people take those loans serious.
They take those serious because they get immediate result from it.
Yeah.
Because now, you know, I got somewhere to stay. I can go touch it. I can feel it. Same thing. The car, I can drive it every day. I can touch it and feel it. And I know if I don't pay it, they come to take it away, and I won't have that. But if it's something that doesn't hurt me to actually pull no cash out my pocket to go pay for it and to do it, I just got to sign my name and they give it to me. I don't really care that much about it because I'm feeling, it's just like a credit card. They just look at it like that, and a lot of them thinking, I'm just not going to pay it. They look at it as, I don't think people really want to pay it. And I think that's why a lot of times with the coaching, that's what they lead into. They don't tell them to pay nothing with their money or anything like that. They tell, oh, you come take this course, we'll find you funding. Because they know the people don't want to pay nothing with their money.
And earn while you learn, like you're going to make money doing it.
I want you to earn as you learn and pay it off. I don't want, I'm going to find you some funding to go do. Who's going to give you some money to do something you ain't never done before? Nobody. If you can't go to your uncle or your brother or your family friend and say, hey, I got this idea, they don't trust you enough to pay it back. Now, you're going to come to me and think I'm going to give you some money to go do something that you ain't never done before, think you're going to pay it back.
Yeah. So now me and Mike, we not bashing the online training industry because I have a training program. I'm pushing Mike to have one. So by the time you seeing this, Mike will have it as well. And high level, just to break mine down, then I'm gonna have Mike break his down. So currently, my premium value offer is $60,000 a year, right? But I only want to work with companies. That's one. So it's B2B, and I also only want to work with 6-figure companies. So it's not like a startup. You want to be a business owner. I have a ton of free social media content and inexpensive ebooks and trainings and stuff like that for people that are on that level and they can get more than enough money just from those free and inexpensive resources. But as far as like my training program, it's only for business owners, and not just any business owner. If you got your LLC yesterday, you don't qualify. You got to be making 6 figures, and what that entails is a combination of marketing and coaching. So social media, in my opinion, isn't going anywhere. I recently went to Mayberry, which is AKA Mount Airy, North Carolina, and I saw that way back in the day. They was using like those people that played in the show. Like, man, what was the show now?
Andy Griffin.
Andy Griffin. So they got Andy Griffin on canned goods, on sausages, on all of that. They ain't in the stores now, but back in the day, they used to be in the grocery stores, and they had them behind the glass, and you could read up on the report of back in the day. Andy Griffin was so popular, they was using this for that. So the reason why I say that is because influencer marketing is what that is. Mm-hmm. So back in the day, John Wayne made our granddaddies want to dip, snuff, and smoke cigars because he was a tough guy, or was the image of a tough guy, and he promoted that. Andy Griffin was on canned goods and sausages. What I do with my clients is basically, one, I want them to understand influencer marketing isn't something that's new. Social media is something that's newer, and being a social media influencer is new. But just like John Wayne and Andy Griffin and all of these other places, companies will always use somebody that has a relationship with an audience to sell products or services. So I teach businesses how to be that entity and help them fulfill that service. And it's 60 grand. Like Mike said, like it's not for individuals at all. And if they say, well, yeah, we make 6 figures, but we don't want to show you, then that's cool. You can go run ads. You can work with somebody else. They'll just take your money. But I do that because, like I said, like the fear of social media, at least for me, is everybody on social media know what you look like. Mm-hmm. You don't know what them people look like. Right. You just see a number on the screen, whether it's 1,000 or 100,000 or whatever the number is, and you can say, well, oh man, it's only 1,000 people following me. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't know what them 1,000 people look like, and you can take advantage of one of those people, especially if you're a business owner like Mike that has a physical location. Somebody that Mike never known before can walk in through the door. He don't know if that's somebody that's just visiting a relative, or what if that's the person that Mike stole $100,000 from with his training program, and now they come in here for revenge. Like, right, they gonna burn down the shop. So that's how I structure mine, to kind of filter it out. So if you're watching this and are thinking about doing it, I do think having some sort of qualifications other than you got the money or you can get the funding does help. And for me, it's you got to be a business and you need to already be making 6 figures, or else it's not even an option if you can work for that service or not. Is there a prerequisite to work with you, or how do you kind of like create an environment that's not predatory for people that want to invest in any of your training?
With my training, I'm actually giving you an actual skill set. So what I'm doing, I got a couple of different offerings. One of them, if you can't afford, our biggest offering is the hands-on live event with Appliance Bootcamp. That's $3,000. For that $3,000, I'm giving you an actual skills trade that you can go out here and you can make your money back in less than a month. And that's something nobody can never take from you. I teach you how to actually go out and actually repair home appliances, show you how to get a contract. And with mine, it's an end in it. A lot of the time with the actual, what I see with a lot of these social media training and coaching, there's no end. There's never an end. It's a constant, you constantly got to keep coming back. You come to me, I'm going to teach you everything that I know and how I think and how I problem solve. So you don't have to keep coming back to me. So it's $3,000 for our biggest training. And once you get that, it's in your head. I'm teaching you to think just like I think. I ain't the smartest person in the world. So if I can figure it out, if you come to me from training, I'm showing you the exact same thing I do, my problem solving method, how I figure stuff out, and showing you how I do it. Then you do it. You don't have to come back to me anymore. People say that ain't the best thing to do because you only get a chance to shear the sheep one time. But God knows now they sharing them every other week with this the way they doing it with these offerings. The other thing too, we have, if you're doing the ice cream parlor boot camp.
And while Mike is doing that, the question that I'm gonna have him answer when he come back, and he touched on it too, is what about the retention? Because people are going to say it's better to get a repeat customer than try to get a new customer. So if you got them on the hook for $3,000, why not have some sort of subscription or retention? So that way, if they enjoy doing business with you, you can go ahead and keep that customer.
Those customers, if they're coming in and they're taking my course, unless I'm still driving forward and my business and getting bigger and stuff, I'm not going to be able to teach them the next steps they're going. They're going to have to go to somebody else, another mentor. So if they came to me, the most I've ever had about maybe 6 technicians, but I operated between 1 and 3 subs as an appliance repair person. That's my expertise. Now, if somebody's saying I want to have 15, 20 subs or technicians, them talking to me is useless. I don't know. I've never done it. So I'm going to be telling you a bunch of BS. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell them, hey, instead of you actually talking to me, you need to go to the ASTEs and get in USA and get in a peer group and let them pair you with somebody who already done it. And how I actually make my money is on the back end, because what happened, now they say, okay, thank you, Sneed, you were good. But the next time they meet somebody, they say, hey, how did you get into appliance repair? They'll say, hey, I got through appliance boot camp. You need to go down there and see Mike Sneed. He'll get you going. And then I actually get the referral of the person coming back in. I just know my place. I know my place is I catch the entry level person that's trying to get in and get started. Once they get in, they're going to grow this business bigger. Then they need to go find somebody else who can do that for them. And people used to know that, but now we got to this thing where we want to keep somebody forever. Like I say, this right here is just like I say, he's getting so much to be like prosperity preaching. I used to get on my mom and them about that. We done had the same minister at the church, when I was growing up for almost 30 years. Why haven't he taught everybody, all these members, the same thing he know? What more, why you need to keep standing up under him? If I'm a school teacher, you don't stay with me for all 12 years. You stay with me for this period of your time and I teach you this, but when it's time for you to go on and do calculus, and all I know is 3rd grade math, I don't try to teach you calculus and I don't know it. I send you off to somebody who knows it. The coaching thing that they do here now on YouTube, I don't care if I don't know it, you're going to pay me and I'm going to act like I know it. So, and they just keep the people coming and coming, and they never get to advance and go forward. And that's the other thing too, because I actually run a physical business and people know my business here. Not only that, I actually deal with the town leadership and business leadership. I have to be above board because I'm constantly talking to the mayors, I'm talking to the commissioners, and if I get caught doing something, it don't hurt just me. It hurts, it hurts the whole town that I'm a part of. The same thing, if I get caught doing something and doing something not right, they know where they know my physical locations of my businesses are. So anybody can come down here and see me. I want to be feeling safe that I can go anywhere, and that I can go anywhere, and people look at and greet me, and God knows today I signed probably 6 or 7 autographs today, right here, because I keep everything up and above board. Now I have met some of the other so-called bigger YouTubers, and they got to go with armed guards places, and the ones that's charging all this money and not delivering, they got to go and have somebody with them. They got to have security. You and I, we don't have to do that because we know that we're giving people businesses that they can actually use and take with them. The same thing with the ice cream and all that. I'm just not telling you, oh, I got the best ice cream and we're good. We're actually going out and competing against the best ice cream parlors in North Carolina. And we're actually winning. So we're getting true results saying we got a good product out here. We got true results of people come to us because they're hurt and they need something to get them out of the situation they're in. They got kids getting ready to go to college. They done got to the point of retirement. They don't have no retirement. And they're coming to us looking for answers. And if we give them answers, because this is their life on the line, and we have delivered to them. And in order for us to do that, we gotta stay above board and just can't be taking money money off of these people and be like, oh, well, if they didn't learn, it ain't their fault. Nah, if they come pay me $60,000, I gotta make sure they get their money back. I think right now I got one person that hits me back that hasn't gotten his money back, or haven't made his money back yet. And if he's listening, the same thing. If you do everything I tell you to do for a month and you didn't get your money back, I give you double. But he bought the course right during the pandemic. They closed down the state. You couldn't have no travel in the state, and he wanted. He said that COVID was a lie, and I was making it up, and he wanted to come. I said the governor won't let us do it. So that person for the last 2 years, he said he was gonna get a lawyer to sue me. I would have gave him his money back, but he said he got one of his friends to write up a letter saying he was a lawyer and he was gonna sue me. After that, I dug my heels in. Nah, you got to come get it, or you're gonna have to go do this course. And I want him to go do his course, but that's it. But everybody else, when they call, that's the first thing I ask: have you made your money back? And if they tell me yes, oh, we good, I'm out your pocket, let's talk.
Yeah.
If you haven't made your money back, we need to figure out what's going on.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you touched on that too, because that's something I didn't say too. So with the clients that I take on, it's a triple your money back. Well, if you don't triple your money, you get a full refund. So however you would word that. So the clients that will give me $60,000, if directly from my services, not whatever they was making before, but if they can't trace at least $180,000 coming back to them off of the service, like, so if they just double their money, if they go from 60,000, they pay me 60, they only make 120, I give them the 60,000 back as well. So having a money back guarantee, which transitions to the final question I want to ask you as well, is for anybody out there, and you kind of touched on it, but just putting it together. If somebody out there and they're like, man, Mike, like, I'm new to this space, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know the difference between you and this person and that person and that person, what would you tell somebody that's brand new on the internet, looking to see who telling the truth and who may not be? Like, what should they look for?
What I look for when I'm looking for somebody that, cause my ice cream parlor, I bought my business plan from someone. The kettle corn business, I bought my business plan from someone. What I look for is somebody who's done it at least 10 years. Not talked about it, but who has a footprint that has done that physical business at least 10 years. Because the 10-year mark, that gives them time to either go through the good times of running the business, and we're going to have at least one bad time, a recession or something within that 10 years. And you can see if they're able to operate that business during bad time. You know, it's easy to sell a boat during the calm seas. It's when those bad storms come up, that's when you can figure out who can really sell that boat. So I want to get that. I want somebody who actually, I don't believe anything coming off the YouTube. So if they got, I want to see awards. If they're going to talk awards and stuff, I want awards that came from something off of YouTube. I want something that came from a town or a city or something where they actually went head to head with somebody and actually won an award. If it's something coming off of YouTube right now, I just don't believe it, because I found out YouTube has became the new info-commercial. You know, it used to be like wrestling. When I was first growing up, I thought wrestling was real. But when I found out it was fake, it just wasn't the fun no more, and I just couldn't watch it. YouTube just haven't came out and said it was fake. They don't say that everything is an info-commercial. No, most people at one time didn't know Miss Cleo was lying when she said she could read the future and stuff. But they had to come out then and say, hey, so many old people and stuff looking at TV late at night thinking Miss Cleo is real. You got to come out and say this stuff is fake, because too many people getting caught up in it, losing all their money. And it wasn't so much they're paying Miss Cleo, it was a telephone company. People were calling, been on the telephone line so long, the telephone company was charging them $1,000 almost just for talking to Miss Cleo. And they said, well, hey, we got to cut this mess out. Same thing happening right now with YouTube, where you got people who ain't never ran a business. I mean, had never in their life cut a paycheck or anything for nobody. They making all this money, and they never build anything physical for you to come to. If they're making millions of dollars, and they don't have no physical location for you to come meet them at. They don't have no real product or service that you can buy to actually patronize them. I would be conscious about spending my money with that person.
All right. Is education in and of itself, because I know some of the biggest names out there, and we just having a conversation based off what I think you guys are curious about and most people not talking about. There is a whole niche of people that say, I'm a business owner, my product is education. Do you believe that education in and of itself could be a product? Because they're going to say, well, that's what all these colleges and everything else is, except we giving you education that can go make you money, not just like theory and then you go try to go get a job with it and they say come back when you got more experience.
Education
Product, yeah.
as a product, education, and we got to differentiate education and knowledge. We're finding out quite frequently now, people who got PhDs in certain subjects don't know anything about the subject.